Well, hey there, kiddos. Here is your next video for this week. We're going to talk about solutions to linear equations really quick. But before I start, I want to give a shout out to my little table of rock stars, Douglas, Ashton, and Shijoki. You guys work like beasts every day that we have something to do. You come in, you get to work, you ask questions, you focus on what you need to focus on, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for always doing what it is you are supposed to do. So now let's talk about solutions to linear equations. So here we have a graph. This is a graph of the equation y equals 2x plus 1. And so we have graphed it. And the first thing that you are asked to do is plot and label the ordered pairs. This graph, this picture will be up on Edline along with the rest of these notes so that if you want to print them off, you can. So that you can do this instead of having to sketch the graph. So it asks us to put these ordered pairs on the graph. So we're going to do that. The first one is 0, 1, which is right here. So there's point A. And then -1, -2, right here. And then 1, -3. And then 1, +3. And then -3/2, which is 1.5. And -2, which is right here. And there's point E. Okay, so I've plotted them on the coordinate grid. And what I need you to notice is which of those ordered pairs, which of those points that we just plotted actually lie on the line graphed above. If you look, there are 3 of the points that we just graphed that actually are on the line. A is on the line, D is up here on the line, and E is on the line. These other 2 points don't fall on the line. And so when we want to talk about something that is a solution to a linear equation, this is a linear equation because when you graph it, it gives you a straight line. So it's an equation of a line. That's why we call it a linear equation. And solutions to that equation, which means, answers, values of x and y that I could plug into here that would make this true, will lie on the line when I plug them in. And so these 3 points that lie on this line are what we call solutions to that equation. So I know I've bounced back and forth a lot. Point A here, 0, 1. If I were to plug 0 and 1 into this equation, and plug 0 in for x and 1 in for y, what you will see happen is that 2 times 0 is 0, and 0 plus 1 is 1, so I end up with a true statement. So this point is a solution to this linear equation because it makes this true when I plug the values in, but it also is because this point lies on the line. So it is a solution to that linear equation. So let's talk about this. A solution of an equation is these 2 things. It is an ordered pair that falls on the graph of the line. So if I graph the line and that ordered pair is actually on the line, then it is a solution. It is also a set of x and y values that when substituted into the equation make a true statement, which is what we just saw with the example I showed you with the graph. So these things occur. Okay, so a solution is an ordered pair that falls on the graph, or it's a set of x and y values that when you substitute in the equation make a true statement. Both of those things need to happen, but they don't have to happen in the same problem. Sometimes you're given a graph, so you just have to check it that way. Sometimes you're just given an equation and you check it the other way. But this is what a solution is. So let's practice. The first question is -2, 1, that ordered pair, a solution to this equation? And it says justify your answer. All that means is show your work. Well, x is -2 and y is 1, so we're going to plug these values into here. So if x is -2, that means I have to do 3 times -2 plus 1 because y is 1. And it should equal -5 when I'm done. So let's test. 3 times -2 is -6 plus 1. Well, -6 plus 1 was -5. And so this is a true statement. -5 really does equal -5. So yes, -2, 1 is a solution to this equation because when I plug in the x and the y value, I get a true statement. It all works out. The next question asks which of these ordered pairs is not a solution. So now it's got the word not in there and I got to find the one that doesn't work. So just more practice doing the same. If the answer is A, then I got to plug in 3 for x and -6 for y. So I have 2 times 3 minus -6. Make sure you keep up with your signs there. Equals 12. Well, minus a negative becomes plus because I do leave change. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 6 That should equal 12. Well, if I check that, yes, 12 really does equal 12. So this is a solution. I want the one that's not. So I got to check another problem. So let's do the 7 and 2. So I have 2 times 7 minus 2 should equal 12. Well, 2 times 7 is 14. And 14 minus 2 is 12. So that one is also a solution because I got another true statement. So I get to check another one. Let's plug in our C. So I have 2 times negative 4 minus negative 18. And I need that to equal 12. So let's test our math. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Minus a negative 18 is like saying plus 18 equals 12. Well, negative 8 plus 18 is going to be 10. And 10 does not equal 12. So this makes a not true statement. This is the one that's not a solution. I'm betting if you plug in the ordered pair for D that you end up with a true statement, and you will see that that is a solution. So your answer is C. So now let's take it into the abstract just a little bit. So for this equation, 4y equals 4x minus 12, we want to find the value of y if 5 comma y is a solution. Well, if they give me this ordered pair, they're telling me that x is 5, and they want me to find y. Well, that's real simple. I'm going to plug in 5 for x, and then solve. So I have 4y equals 4 times 5 minus 12. Well, let's do our calculations. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 12 is going to be 8. And then in order to get y by itself, I'm going to have to divide by 4 on both sides. So I get that y equals 2. So the value of y is going to be 2. That means this number in this ordered pair, pardon me, is going to be 2. So the next question is very similar. It says, in the equation, 6.5x plus 1.4y is 59. What's the value of x when y equals 5? Now they've given it to you differently. If you wanted to put this in an ordered pair, basically they're saying, here is what you're given. And so they're telling you that y is 5. So we're going to plug in 5 for y and do the same thing. So I have 6.5x plus 1.4 times 5 equals 59. And so this is where my calculator comes in handy because I don't want to multiply decimals by hand. So 1.4 times 5 is going to be 7. So I end up with 6.5x plus 7 equals 59. Double check my math there. Yes, that's correct. And now I want to get x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 7. So I have 6.5x equals 52. And then to get x by itself, I'm going to have to divide. And again, my calculator comes in very handy. So I have 52 divided by 6.5. And I get that x equals 8. So the value of x when y is 5 is going to be 8 for this problem. What that means is that the ordered pair 8, 5 is going to be a point on the line of whatever this graph is. So if I were to graph this, this would be a point on that line. That is solutions to linear equations. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your evening.